Good morning, FlossTube. Happy Easter. Miss Fortuna is here visiting and she's not happy to be on camera. Do you want to look? Oh, look back. See, they can see your pretty eyes. Say Happy Easter. No? You don't know? You don't know about this? Oh, okay. She wants down. Hi, I'm Deb, or Deborah. This is the Science Nister channel. And I mainly talk about cross stitch, which is why it's a floss tube. But I'm just thinking this morning, pretty much any crafty or arty thing that can be done with fiber and or a needle, I've probably tried it or am planning to. But I hope you all are having a happy Easter if you celebrate. And I need to make this short. Let's see if we can actually do that. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I tend to make movies, as Michelle Bendy Stitchy would say. But we have lots of plans for today, so I wanted to try to record this pretty early in the morning. It's just after 8. We've been up for a couple hours. I already made Skinny Taste hot cross buns. Normally I would make them on Good Friday, but I was waiting for my husband and Fortuna to arrive, so I made them this morning for our little breakfast brunchy thing. Anyway, so I guess I should get right to it. I've been lately telling you what I'm drinking, and this morning I made myself a latte. I make it with unsweetened almond milk, and I brew some Starbucks blonde espresso roast in a French press little coffee pot thingy that I have. So, oh, I should show you that sometime. It looks like the TARDIS. It was a birthday gift from my father a couple years ago. It's awesome. So if you're a Doctor Who fan, you would enjoy this. Okay. Oh, thank you. Sometimes it's good to have your husband when you're around when you're filming FlossTube. So this is my French press. Pretty cool, huh? Thanks, Dad. Okay. So let me get started with my new start that I made in the last 2 weeks. So I've been meaning to start this all month, and my husband's getting jelly jars together. We're making marmalade. And then finally decided I wanted to start it on the anniversary of when I taught my first remote class. And this is the pandemic sampler. So Emily C. and, oh shoot, I forgot who else. She's doing this with somebody. And they came up with the hashtag, it's been a hell of a year, Sal. So, so I'm participating finally in the It's Been a Hell of a Year, Sal, with the 2020 pandemic sampler by Sarcy Girl. And I'm using the called for threads, but I didn't want to like actually dye my own fabric as Sarcy Girl suggested. So I bought some grayish fabric. It's Weeks Dye Works Tin Roof, and then I over dyed it with tea. So let's see, do I have it? I think I have some of the original handy here. Yes. So you can see it did sort of brown or darken it up, and that's pretty close to the actual color. So this was just some stitches I put in to see if the count was affected by my tea dyeing. Not really. I didn't have it in there very long. In hindsight, I probably could have left it in longer, but I was talking, this was like, I don't know why I did this, but last week while I was talking to my family on Zoom, I had started this before we got on and then realized, oh, if this doesn't finish in like 15 minutes, it's gonna still be doing its thing while I'm talking, which is what happened. But I think it kind of like browned it up a little bit, darkened it up just a little bit. So I think the colors will look nice. And I still don't have well, I have some of the colors arranged. I don't have all the colors arranged nicely. But I still have some colors on bobbins. I'm moving to thread drops, and these colors I haven't put on the thread drops yet. Some of them are on bobbins, so. But I think the colors will look good on here. I think the sort of tealy blues will really pop on here, which will be nice. And I'll get back to this. I do not know. But I'd like to work on it at least a little bit every month this year, for the rest of this year. Okay. I'm just gonna drop stuff down here. Okay, what else have I worked on? So actually, I am doing WhipGo, which is like bingo. Was it Jen makes stuff? No, Jennifer Marie makes stuff. I am so bad with names. I need to write this stuff down. Anyway, she started WhipGo several years ago, and lots of folks were doing it this year and like, well, that kind of sounds like fun. I am horribly behind, but it's okay because I'm kind of in a stitch what you want when you want mood. But for March, one of the numbers that came up on my WhipGo board was for Hawk Run Hollow, Shores of Hawk Run Hollow, which I really have been wanting to get back to. So I pulled it out one evening. That's the other thing. Sometimes I get in periods where I just don't have much time to stitch, which lately has been and probably will be through the end of the semester. I teach biology at the local community college. I'm also department chair, so that kind of gets in the way. So I started working on this block here, block number 3. This block right here. Last May during Mania, because I was doing Mermania. And I went to work on it because I had some thread coming off of there and realized I had made a mistake in here, which was where I was working. And then I was going to come up here when I finished that thread, and I found out I made a mistake in here. So that kind of like, you know what? I just don't feel like dealing with it right now. And it's some mistakes I leave in, but this would affect the pattern, the way the pattern is supposed to look. So I'm still contemplating whether I want to leave it in or not. So I was like, this one just went like, it came out one evening, went right back in. Actually, I think it was one morning and went back in. So I'm using the called for Lakeside Linen Autumn Gold and the called for DMC, not the NPIs. But this will come out again. I would like to finish my WhipGo goals, even if not in the month that they're called. So it's like bingo. You have a goal for the month, and then if you meet the goal, then you can color in that square on your WhipGo board, which looks like a bingo board. Yeah, so then I also actually just yesterday pulled out spring hair etching from last year's spring Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. So I actually get this digitally, but I like having the paper copy too. So I buy this from my local needlework store, Judy's Stitchery Nook. So I am not using the called for anything. I am stitching this one. I don't know why I decided to do this over 1 on 28 count Picture This Plus Mesa. And for the 2 colors that are called for, the 2 Classic Colorworks, I'm still using Classic Colorworks, but I'm using Ripe Melon for the sort of pinky peachy color and Caterpillar for the brown. And I didn't realize this when I pulled this out yesterday, but later on when I was playing on Instagram instead of stitching, I found out, maybe I already knew this and forgot, but there's a chocolate bunny sale going on. So this fits the bill. I'm hoping to finish this weekend, which means today. Maybe it's over 1, so it takes me a little bit longer, but we'll see. We have a lot of cooking and whatnot going on today, so I don't know how much stitching I'll get done. Plus, I need to do a little bit of work too. Okay, what else have I been working on? Well, those of you that are subscribers and have been watching for a while know that I've been working on Ann Roberts from Hands Across the Sea since last September. And she's kind of, I've become obsessed with her, I think. She takes up a lot of my stitching time. I'm to the point where a lot of what I'm doing is just fill in. So it's really nice comfort stitching. So I'm happy. The border met, and then it turned out I actually had made a mistake. I had made a mistake in the border and somehow made another one that accidentally compensated for it. So I just left it because you can't see it. If I hadn't told you that, you wouldn't know. So I'm pretty much to the point where I'm just filling stuff in. I've been working up here lately, but I got all the major parts of the border done. It's just filling in everything down there, and then filling in the grass. I've got, you probably can't, there. I've got all the sheep in, so I just need to put the grass around the sheep and then finish the, I don't know what it kind of looks like, bricks here. I don't know if it's supposed to be bricks or a path or what it's supposed to be, but fill in this, do this part. And then I've got her name, and I still haven't decided if I'm gonna put her name or something else there. And then I need to put these birds in, but I'm actually thinking about putting my initials and the year there. In a, not a, like a really dark color, something that kind of blends in a little bit so I can still see it and remember when I stitched it, but, or I could do that over here. I don't know. Still thinking about it. And then actually I still have, let's see. So here, notice there's a light color. I think I'm using straw bonnet there. But I'm supposed to do the same thing in here, all of these, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or just leave them. I might do 1 or 2 and see what I think. I might just leave it. I am stitching this on 36 count Weeks Dye Works parchment with my own overdyed conversion, which I need to write down electronically so I can post it in the near future when I finish this. So I'm hoping I can finish this in April, and I'll just depend on how much stitching time I have. But, oh, and here are my colors. You can see. I kind of, I started with the DMCs that I had, and then the picture, and then just kind of went from there. And then I chose a bunch, and I mainly have stuck with what I originally chose, but there's been a few colors that I have, after starting to stitch with them, I decided I didn't like the color or the way that it was looking with other colors. So I played around a little bit and found something I liked better. That's what happened with this light blue, and I think, yeah, this red here, and then this color here. Oh, and then the white in here. It took me a while to find the right color there. I was still not convinced at the end that I got the right thing, but I like how it looks, so I'm not gonna worry about it. So I'll probably work, I'm gonna be on Zoom with my family later this morning, so I probably will work on Anne. Since I don't have to do any counting, I can just fill stuff in. So that's what I've been working on stitching wise. I did also have a start for knitting. So I haven't really been knitting in quite a while. I did do a little bit of knitting the last month or so, I guess in February during the winter storm. I started just an Afghan, no pattern, just garter stitch, but I am working on this hat. I started this hat last Sunday. So one of my staff is having a baby, so I wanted to do it. And here's my bag from Dancing Sheep. She has an Etsy shop, and I am using, this is Naked as the contrast color, and the main color is Cornflower. And both of these are Hazelnut's Artisan Sock. This is my favorite fingering weight yarn. I like their DK too. Their DK Lively is scrumptious. When you knit it up, it is very squishy. I love it. So they're in Seattle. So those of you in the Pacific Northwest. So let me show you what the hat will look like when I'm done. Let's see. So this is the Rhythm Hat by Stick Chick Knits, Melissa Goodell. That's pretty cute. So mine is, the baby blue and the white. And yes, they're having a boy, and yes, I'm being very, I hate doing that, but a lot of people like those colors, blue for a boy, pink for a girl. I usually try to be a little different, but not this time. So that's pretty much what I've been working on. No finishes. Like I said, I was hoping to finish the spring hair etching, but didn't quite get to it. Let's see. There were a few things else I wanted to show. Last time when I was showing my spring stitchery, I forgot I hadn't pulled out yet this Lizzie Kate that I finished last year. It's this one here. It's one of her Boxer Junior Spring Lily. And I think I used the called for on everything, except I didn't know what this color was. It wasn't on the chart. So I just found a yellow, and I don't even remember what yellow I used. I don't think it was one that was already in there. So I just used a yellow that I had handy. And I am planning to finish this as sort of an ornament. I call it padded mat board. Just haven't gotten around to it yet, obviously. So I just kind of put it under the books here and let it hang. Okay, let me see, make sure I didn't forget anything. Got my, keep track of what I've been working on. Yes, pretty much it says Ann Roberts every day lately. Okay, yeah, that's everything. So I am planning on continuing with some sales. So I showed the pandemic, and I also have started Chester's Place. That I think I showed that one last time or the time before. And for Stitch Asia, I am doing a combination, my own combination of Modern Folk Embroideries Hiragana sampler and Katakana sampler. I haven't gotten very far. So just I'm working on the top border right now. And this was started, Stitch Asia was started by Abby Bellastitch and somebody else, and I'm forgetting. But I'm stitching this on 32 count cream with an old Needle Necessities that I had in my stash, 113. And anyway, Abby had mentioned on Instagram that they are planning to continue this all year. And I will be working on this year. I am turning 60 in about a month. And I have been thinking about what I wanted to do for my birthday, Sal. I'd already decided I wasn't gonna do like even a Mermania type mania this year, a Sania. And I'd been thinking about different things I wanted to stitch. There are several samplers, like last year's Hands Across the Sea, Queen of the May. I was thinking about kitting that up. And then I remembered, oh, wait a minute. You've had a couple of samplers, one from Just Cross Stitch that I have buried and I don't remember where I put it, but another one from an old sampler in Antique Needleworks, which isn't even published anymore, just sad. But I had kitted this one up a while ago, like probably not long after the magazine came out. This is the Little Paradise sampler, and it's kitted with these beautiful thread gather silken colors. I don't have these on a ring. I'm not even gonna try. Here they are. They're beautiful. And I even bought the 36 count linen, which, okay, you have to understand. This was very hard to get when I kitted this up. You had to special order it. You couldn't just go to your cross stitch shop, your local needlework shop, and find 36 count linen on the shelf. Pretty much 28, 32, no problem. Lugana, stuff like that. Ada, no problem. But 36 or higher count, and like higher count, higher than 36, oh my God. What's that? But this was very, like, I special ordered this. So this has all been sitting in my stash. So I was thinking about starting this. Okay, so I hear people talking about, the oldest whip or the oldest thing they have in their stash is from 2017 or 2015. We won't even go there. Let's just say I've been stitching since I was 6 or 7. Leave it there. So I was thinking about this, and then unfortunately, one of the members of our Embroiderers Guild of America chapter here, who over the years had become a good friend. I had met her even before I joined the chapter, before I moved down here. I'd met her at different retreats that folks in South Texas had. Well, I should say from Austin South. There were several retreats that people from different chapters would kind of congregate. And I met her there. My friend Joyce, she passed away. And some members of the chapter and her husband have got all of her stuff together and were selling it. And I wanted to see if I could get 1 or 2 pieces that she had started. and then I could finish and then have as a remembrance of her. So Joyce had started, let me see if I can put something behind this. Joyce had started the 2020 Linen and Threads Mystery Sale with the peacock on Congress cloth, which is about, if I remember correctly, about 22 count. And it's the feel of it, you stitch on it like you stitch on canvas, but the feel of it is softer. It's not as hard as canvas, but it's definitely stiffer than linen, but it's a lot like stitching on linen. So she had started and got the peacock all done and then started up here in the corner. And what's really amazing is that she had had a stroke and had learned to stitch again left-handed. So she had done, and she was right-handed. She had done all this left-handed. Well, I'm stitching left-handed these days to save my right hand from all the stuff that I have to do. So I was thinking about doing this one. I am going to do this one, but I think what I'm going to do is in honor of her birthday, on the date of her birth each, her birthday date each month, work on it. So that's coming up in a couple weeks. I'll start it this month. But that's not going to be my birthday sale either. And then some other things I've had in my stash for a while, like this Mexican convent sampler, Embroiderers Guild of America group correspondence course, which hasn't, I'm trying to remember when I paid for this. It's been a while, but I've never actually stitched it. So I was thinking about that. I haven't even kitted this one up, but you could, you're supposed to choose your own color. So I'd been thinking about all those different things and finally decided, with everything going on right now, that I'm just gonna I'm gonna come back to my hiragana sampler and katakana sampler. And for those of you that are return viewers, know that I'm putting the two samplers together, two Japanese inspired samplers that Jacob did together to commemorate spending a part of the summer in 1993, or most of the summer in 1993 in Japan as a graduate student, working with Japanese scientists. So that's what I'm gonna do for my birthday sal. So there won't be a start because I already started. So I probably won't work on this month, but I'm probably going to work on it almost exclusively in May. So if you would like to join me, either this or some other Stitch Asia or whatever culture you want to celebrate, so we can all participate in the diversity and inclusion SAL, I think that would be a great thing, just to celebrate diversity in cross stitch. Okay, there was a couple other things I wanted to mention. Back on Valentine's Day, I had started the Jessie Watson 1816 Hands Across the Sea sampler. I am doing this crazy thing, stitching on 45 count Foxtail Millet by Legacy Linen. And I made a teeny tiny start. I'm stitching this with, I think that's a number 12 beading needle. Not a sharp one, the ballpoint kind. So I am, and what's really cool is Raspberry Stitcher is stitching this as a SAL to raise awareness of autism. So my original plan was to stitch on this the 14th of each month, since I started on Valentine's Day. I missed March because it was here and I wasn't. I was in our house, at our house in Corpus Christi, getting my COVID vaccine and some other things, doctor's appointment and all that kind of good stuff. I forgot to bring this with me, or I think part of it was I wasn't planning to be there that long. But I'm going to go back to stitching on this at least the 14th of each month, and maybe try to pick another day to kind of participate in a small way in the SAL. Again, diversity. Okay. And then, because I'm not in enough SALs. That was supposed to be funny. I'm in way too many. I am also planning to join. Okay, I'm trying to find the picture. Oh, here we go. So several folks, Michelle Bendy Stitchy and some other, maybe, I forget who else, are going to be stitching this Cat's Reflection Sampler by Peruvian Flair, and we're calling it the Peruvian Cat Sal. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it in red or not. I think a lot of folks are starting this today or this weekend. Yeah, because I think I saw some starts yesterday. I think maybe Abby Topknot is one of the ones participating in this. I can't remember, or one of the organizers. Anyway, that is so cute. And also diversity and inclusion, because it's celebrating Peruvian culture, because this is based on motifs from a Peruvian tapestry or cloth. Anyway, I thought it was cool. Fortuna approves. So that's one. And then there's also the Barbara Anna sale going on, starting, I think, this weekend. And I haven't decided. I have a couple of Barbara Annas going already, and I may just work on one of those, but in the latest punch needle and primitive stitcher is this Easter hare. And so bunny in a dress, I've got fox in a dress going, I've got one of her other, I think it was a goose or a duck in a dress, kitted up, ready to go. But I think I need to do this one. It calls for some of the DMC expressions. So if I manage to start it this week, I'm just gonna use overdyes from my stash. If I don't manage to start it this week and am waiting a bit to start it, I may go get those if Judy has it in stock. But I think I'm trying to stitch from stash lately, so I think I might just pull some overdyes. I find that's kind of fun, pull my own overdyes, so I may do that. And let's see what else. And I don't have a problem. I'm a very seasonal stitcher, but I don't really have a problem starting the Easter hare after Easter, because Easter is a season and it starts, Easter and goes for like 6 weeks. So I'm good. Okay. I think I probably need to end this so I can help get things ready to make the marmalade, and I might need to have another hot cross bun. They're kind of small, so I might need another one. yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I did want to have a science corner. I'm a scientist, so I like to say something a little bit about science. I'll, I'll just take a couple minutes. So mostly lately, well, for obvious reasons, I've been talking about when I do have time to have a science corner. I've been talking about COVID related things. But I wanted to do something different today. So what I want to tell you about today actually is a project that my students are working on. I don't know if you've heard about this thing called citizen science, where people can help collect data for scientists. And so my students are participating in a citizen science project through the Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory in New York. Through their DNA Learning Center. And what we're doing this week is collecting ants locally, like from our backyards, or I think I'm going to try to collect mine on campus. And we're getting data about where we're collecting our ants. We're going to try to identify them by traditional methods, but then this is the coolest part. The DNA Learning Center came up with a method for people to extract the DNA from ants at home, so that then you could, if you have access to a lab, you could then do some work to copy the DNA, a particular region of the DNA that can act like a barcode. Like when you go to the grocery store and things have a barcode on them and you scan them when you check out, and it tells the cashier or the cash register, so to speak, if you're doing self-checkout, what the item was. Well, there are regions of our DNA, us and other animals and plants and fungi and bacteria. There are regions of our DNA that aren't very different from one individual to another within a species, but differ enough between species that they can usually or often be used to help us identify species. And so one of the things the DNA Learning Center and Cold Spring Harbor are doing is trying to get a catalog of all the ant species in the United States and where they are. And some of the data, can be used over time to help us see changes in the distribution of different ant species. We could see invasive ants come in and things like that. But part of it too is to build up this database of the barcodes, so we can have a better database and see which species are related to other species. There are some species that are really difficult to tell apart morphologically, or just by looking at their characteristics and features. And so looking at the DNA level can help us identify what are often referred to as cryptic species. So my students are going to get to participate in this, and I was really excited to have them participate in this project, because they haven't been able to do anything really hands-on in this past year. And we've done a lot of data analysis, but they haven't had a chance to do anything really hands-on. So this is an opportunity to do that and help advance science, which is really exciting. I'm not sure my students are as excited about it as I am, but hopefully when they're done with this little project, they will be. So I think I'll leave it there. And I realized that I forgot to welcome my new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing, and welcome back, those of you who have been with me. And I plan to try to keep this 2-week thing going. So far, so good. The last couple of months. So this one will be on the short side, but who knows what will happen next time. I might have more stuff to show and might be back to my usual movie length. Anyway, I hope you all are able to enjoy your day. and are able to enjoy the Easter season if you celebrate it. Bye.